unicorns, and welcome back to me and another video. And this video is something that was requested from a friend of mine, and I wanted to make this video for her and of course for all the other people out there that are wondering, what brushes do you really need to apply your eyeshadow? It's a jungle out there, people, and I understand if you have no clue what to get, because there are so many brushes and not everyone can do what I do, which is mainly buy all of them and see which one is best. I would say the biggest obstacle for making eyeshadow look flawless and blended and, well, like you see it on those amazing Instagram pictures, the biggest obstacle is getting the right tools. Because if I have the right brushes, I can do wonders with a shitty eyeshadow. I really can. But if I only have that little sponge applicator that comes with eyeshadow palettes, you know, that shitty one that looks like a Q-tip that someone sat on, that one. If I have that one and an amazing eyeshadow, it's hard, it really is. So I understand if you do not have the right tools, I understand why you might feel like eyeshadow is like overwhelming. But don't worry, I'm here to help. Today I'm going to talk about some of my favorite brushes for eyeshadow, and I'm also going to talk about the few brushes that you need to get to be able to do flawless eyeshadow application, because you don't need a zillion brushes, you basically need, well, 3. And I'm going to tell you which 3 types you actually need. Is there fluff flying around? Go away. Which 3 types you actually need to be able to do an eyeshadow look like this one, for example. This is not complicated at all. It probably took me like 3 minutes to put these eyeshadows on, but it looks complex. But if you have the right brushes, it's really not that hard. I'm gonna start out by telling you what different kinds of brushes they are and why you should have certain types of brushes. This is normally called a packing brush or just an oval flat eyeshadow brush. As you can see, it has a rounded, almost looks like a rounded square from the front, but then you can see that it's really thin, so it's like a little paddle. This one doesn't have much give, so when you put the brush to your lid, it doesn't have that much give, and this is what you use to pack your eyeshadow on. So if you have a metallic eyeshadow, a sparkly eyeshadow, anything that you want to pack on, this is mainly for on the lid. This is what you use. You pack it on, and then you use something else to blend the edges. This is a staple in every eyeshadow brush set, and this is one of the brushes you actually pretty much need. My favorite one is this one. It looks like it's been through like a war or two, and this has been with me for so long. This is the Makeup Store. I think it's 106. I've been using it so much the text is kind of disappearing. But this is an amazing packing brush. I also got this quite recently. This is the Zoeva This is the Zoeva Luxe Smoky shader, the 234. This is also really good for packing on eyeshadow. The only difference is that this has less give than this. This is softer, which makes this one more ideal for those really moist eyeshadows, like a foiled eyeshadow or a really creamy metallic eyeshadow. This is perfect for that. So we are looking for a good eyeshadow brush for packing. Is it flat and does it have a lot of give? Because if it doesn't have a lot of give, it will be ideal for packing on eyeshadow and getting it really opaque and packed on. And that's what you want. These brushes are, well, almost always synthetic brushes, because the synthetic hairs are really good when it comes to packing on and getting up a lot of product. And also if you're working with eyeshadows that are a bit moist, like foil ones that have a bit of oil in them, they won't be destroyed by the oil, and these you can pretty much wash with dishwashing liquid. That's what I do to get all the junk out. The next type I want to talk about is the one that everybody's raving about, and this type of eyeshadow brush will change your life. And it is the fluffy crease brush. I have a lot of fluffy crease brushes basically because I love them and because I want to try them out and I want to see which is the best. I don't know if all of these are especially clean because I've used some, but I think they are. These are the ones that are supposed to be really fluffy. They're supposed to have a lot of give, and they are the ones you use in your crease. These are perfect for matte shadows, or if you want to blend the edge of a metallic shadow. I will tell you the different brushes you can use for each one. But one that's really fluffy like this is my go-to brush for that fluffy crease brush. This is a Morphe M504. This is super fluffy, it has a lot of give, and it's perfect for doing the transition color. The transition color is the color you put down first. That is the color that you put in your crease, and normally a bit up as well, because that's the color that you're gonna use to blend in the other either darker or more colorful colors. But you could use just a brush like this and just use a transition color, and that will give a whole new dimension to your eye. Just use a basic, like a nudie neutral light color and a fluffy brush like this, and put it in your crease, and you don't really need anything else. That will give you an extra oomph to your eye look, and that's a good way to start with eyeshadows. This is my perfect really fluffy crease brush. Otherwise I also use this one. This is a Makeup Addiction one, it's called the Blender. You see the difference between this is that this is a bit tapered, so it's more precise, you can really get into the crease, and this is more flat, and they both have their purposes. Once you get into eyeshadows more, and once you get to try different brushes, you kind of understand why there are so many. But to start off with, I would suggest getting just one fluffy crease brush to get the feeling of how you work in the crease, because this is the kind of brush you want to use in your crease. And if you only use like those brushes that you get when you buy a palette, you don't understand how this could change your life. I have a couple of others that I want to show you as well. This one has a more of a paddle shape, so it's a bit rounder here and a bit of a paddle shape, and this is the same. That means that they could be used easily in the crease because it's already flat, and then you can switch it over to the fat side and blend it out. So once you started to understand how to work with a fluffy crease brush, something like this could be amazing. This is the Morphe M433 and the Morphe E30. I will put a picture of all the brushes I talked about in this video in the end with the names, so you can screen save that and see what all the brushes were I was talking about, so you don't get confused. I also said brushes like this, the fluffy crease brush, could be really good if you wanted to blend the edges for a metallic shadow, which can be really good if you put a metallic shadow on the lid and you just want to blend the edge a bit so it doesn't get so harsh. You want to get a fluffy crease brush, but you want to get one that doesn't have too much give. You want to have one that's really dense. This one is really dense, so this one you can put in the edge and just blend out the edge of the metallic shadow and not make it smear too much. Because if you use something super fluffy like this one, it will get muddy. If you want to blend the edges of a metallic shadow, I suggest using something that's fluffy but still dense, like this one. This one is perfect for that. This is the Morphe E22, and this is the brush I use when I want to blend the edges of a metallic shadow. When you start getting into more eyeshadows, you start to feel like you want to have something that's even more tapered. And what I mean with tapered is that it's going in towards the middle. See, these are a bit tapered, which means that they are a bit fluffy at the beginning, and then they go up to a tapered end. And these brushes are perfect for when you already have your transition color on and you want to deepen the crease with another color. Typically, I would say that the lighter the color, the fluffier the brush. So if you start with something light beige in the crease as a transition color, and then you want to go in with something a darker brown, I would suggest something like this. It's still a fluffy crease brush, but it's more tapered and more detailed. So you can get into the crease and blend it out and not be all the way up like you were with that other really fluffy one. This is my favorite brush for doing that, and this is the Zoeva 2-8 Luxe Crease. It's an amazing brush for doing that. Also this one, Morphe E17, is really good for that, and this one, which is Makeup Addiction Cosmetics, the Crease Blender. These three, as you can see, are different sizes. This is not as tapered, this is really tapered, and this is more dense, and that is really cool if you really want to deepen that crease up. And then I have this little sucker, and this is, I would say, an intermediate an intermediate brush. This is the Morphe M507, and this is one of my favorite brushes for deepening out the outer V. Let's say the basics of eyeshadow is putting something light as a transition color and then deepen it out a bit in the crease, putting something sparkly or light on the lid, and then deepening out the crease a bit with either dark brown or dark gray or black. And that's when this comes handy, because if you go in with something like this to put in some black to deepen out the crease, it can easily get all over the place. You can be a raccoon, it can get muddy, you can like destroy, well, the fine work that you did before. But something like this, you can put it exactly where you want it to be, and then you can blend it out with this little sucker, and then if you want to go in afterwards, you can take something fluffier. But always start small when you have darker colors and then go to a bigger brush. And like I said, the darker the color, normally the smaller the brush. So it's nice to have more than one crease brush, because if you want to use more than one color, maybe you want to have something smaller for a darker color, so you don't end up having black from here to here, because that's not a cool idea. Last, I wanted to mention two other cool brushes that I've been using a lot when it comes to eyeshadow, and one is the trusted pencil brush. Maybe you've seen a lot of makeup tutorials and they're talking about pencil brushes, and this is my favorite pencil brush. It's from Zoeva and it's the 230 Luxe Pencil. Basically, a pencil brush doesn't have much give and it goes up to a really like defined tip. This is perfect for inner corner. You get in there, you can pack some color. It's also perfect for the eyebrow highlight, like under the eyebrow, and it's also perfect for under the eye, because if you go in with something like this under the eye, I mean, it can get intense real fast. And also, this one is one of my favorites for under the eye. This is Bdellium Tools 714. It's pink. Can we talk about that first? It's amazing. I bought it because it was pink, but as you can see, this is really flat and it has, I mean, basically no give at all. It's really stiff and it's super, like, cut off. Flat? Is that what you say? Flat. This brush is perfect if you want to smoke out your lower lash line. You dip it in the dark color, you only get it in the tip, and then you can get right at your lash line and you can, like, put it there. And then afterwards you can go in with something like this. You don't even have to have any shadow on it, and you just blend it out. Because with this you get super precision under your eyes. I only use this under my eyes, but it's the best under eye brush like ever, and a lot of other brands have something similar like this as well. It's a flat definer brush. It's so good if you want to have some color under your eyes as well. Super detailed, no messing around, it doesn't create a lot of fallout because it doesn't have any give. Really good brush. So that was a little walkthrough about the brushes that I use when I apply my eyeshadow, and now I want to give you a tip on the 3 brushes that I think that you should get if you're new to eyeshadow and you don't know where to start. I would say a flat eyeshadow brush, something like this that's flat on the side and has a bit of a paddle and like as little as possible give, synthetic bristles, so that you can pack on a metallic shadow or a whatever shadow, let's be honest. A packing on brush, that's really good to have. Another brush I would really recommend is a pencil brush. It's perfect for the inner corner highlight because you don't want to have a big brush there. This is just too big. I mean, it basically like in your eye. This is perfect for that, and also you can use it under your eye, you can use it on your brow bone, you can use it in your crease as well if you want to detail something. And then I would say a crease brush. The size of the crease brush depends on your eye size, your preference, I mean what you like. I would say that if you use darker colors, you should go for a bit more of a tapered one, so you don't have dark color all the way up to the brow bone, because that can get harsh, especially if you're like a beginner. But if you're mainly into lighter colors like light gray or light lavender or beiges or stuff like that, a really fluffy one like this could be nice, because this is so easy. You dip it in your shadow, you just mainly do wind wiper motions like this and you're done. the more fluffy it is, the easier it is to work with. And if you watch my tutorials, you see that I go in with this one after I put on all my colors, and I just blend out the edges with this one and no additional product, just to make sure that all the edges are blended. This brush is perfect for that as well. So if you just get a couple of brushes to start with, you can see what kind of technique you like and what kind of brushes you want to further get. No, that's not how you say it. What kind of brushes you want to venture into. Is that how you say it? That's probably how you say it. Go me. I hope you found this video helpful and that you found that maybe you get the types of eye brushes a bit more. If there is any other type of eye brushes that you come across and you don't understand, just type the question down below and I'll be sure to answer it, because when it comes to eyeshadow brushes, I know my thing. I love eyeshadow, I love eyeshadow brushes, I buy too many, but eyeshadow is my thing. I love it so much. Hopefully this will make you venture into eyeshadows a bit more, because I do feel like eyeshadow is the most exciting thing about makeup. It really is. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video 2 thumbs up if you like these kinds of videos, and if you want to see part 2, which is face brushes, of course. Also, don't forget to subscribe on your way out. Thank you so much for watching, and bye bye!